Hi, so today I'm on my way to the Harbor Animal Shelter, which is here in San Pedro. I'm going to meet a dog named May May, and I've been watching this dog on social media for a few weeks now, maybe even a month or two. I know she's been in the shelter for a while. It's been since September, so it's been about 4 months. I've been keeping an eye on local shelter social media because I might be thinking about fostering a dog. I used to foster, but it's been a few years and I'm thinking I might want to get started again. And even if I'm not quite ready to foster, I do want to get back into networking and helping like showcase pets who need more visibility on Instagram and Facebook. And obviously I have my business network pages that I can use to reach the local community and local pet people and help get some more pets noticed. So I've been keeping an eye out for pets specifically who have like maybe behavioral needs or medical needs and might need a little bit of extra special attention. Those would be maybe candidates for fostering. But I'm also kind of trying to keep an eye out for pets who like look highly adoptable, but for some reason they've been in the shelter for a long time. May May is in that category. I've seen video clips of her. First of all, she's a beautiful dog. She is beautiful. She's a gray pit bull. She's very athletic looking. I think about 2 or 3 years old. But I've seen video clips of her and she is very well mannered. The shelter staff obviously have been spending time with her working on some training. She knows sit, stay, she'll give you her paw and shake hands. It seems like she's also very calm, and from what I've seen online, she just looks like one of those dogs where anyone who is looking for a large dog to adopt, May May should be a prime candidate. So I want to go meet her in person, see if I can get to know her a little better, maybe take some pictures and video and get those posted online and get started networking her, because she deserves to get adopted. I'm not sure if she would be someone that I would foster, but because it seems like she is ready to go. She's ready to find her forever home. So I don't know if she needs a lot of extra work. Sometimes fostering can help with the visibility thing and help get her out of the shelter and meeting people and maybe meet her forever family. But yeah, for now, I want to get started helping to network her and just get her out there and see if her family can find her. So I'm gonna head over to the shelter and go meet May May. Hi, so I just watched back the clips from the last time I went to the shelter. I've actually been back another time since then. I went back a week later. The first time I went, actually the shelter was pretty busy. And there were people looking to adopt, and because I wasn't looking to adopt, I didn't want to take up the time of the shelter workers and volunteers. It was okay though. I ended up like walking up and down the aisles. I got to interact with a lot of dogs just through their cages, some of whom I didn't actually see online ahead of time, so it was great to get to know them. And I did meet May May, the dog that I had seen online, and it was a little bit different than what I expected. The video clips that I had seen of her, I mentioned she like knew her sit. She seemed very mellow, but actually when I approached her kennel, she immediately started barking at me. And she was jumping up and down. She seemed a little bit reactive, and which this isn't a bad thing. It's pretty common in shelters. Obviously, dogs in shelters get stressed. So to me, it's like not unusual at all that her behavior that I saw while she was interacting with volunteers on the videos online was a little bit different than what I saw in her kennel. So I actually intentionally didn't take a lot of video clips of the behavior I'm describing because you don't want to like let a dog practice the behavior that's causing them stress. I didn't want to just be there gawking at her and stressing her out. Plus it can be tough to like interact with a dog in a way to lower their stress and simultaneously be filming. And some dogs don't really like having a camera pointed at them. I was just using my phone that day, and it did seem like she was a little bit tense, like, why are you pointing that at me? So I tried to put the camera away and just interact with her and try to mellow her out a little bit. So a good way to do that in the shelter, if you know a dog knows commands like sit, you can start asking them to do that. And sometimes I actually kind of think of it like if you're ever somewhere where people don't speak the same language as you, and you catch on finally that maybe there are a few words that you have in common, and you get this little spark because you realize like, oh, we can actually communicate. I think that dogs can feel with like a little bit of stranger danger, and then once they realize that like they know what you're telling them to do, they are understanding you, it can help put them at ease a little bit. And so I did interact with Maymay like that for a while. I tried to identify like her distance threshold. Like if I crossed a certain point, it seemed like that would stress her out. So I tried to stay just behind that threshold and give her instructions like sit and just talk to her calmly. And she started doing really well. I was able to take some photos of her like that. The shelter volunteers did describe her as a very confident dog, and I kind of saw that like after a few rounds of like me telling her to sit and walking away and coming back and telling her to sit. I would say by like the 4th or 5th time she was like, why are we still doing this? Like she was like, I don't understand. Are you going to give me some treats or what? Like what is going on? So then on my second visit to the shelter last weekend, I was able to interact with her. It was a slower day. There weren't as many people there, so I got to take her into the play yard, and she was a little bit aloof. She definitely seemed more responsive to the volunteer than to me. I could see that she was maybe the type of dog who does bond with people once she knows you, but strangers, like she was still confident around me, but she just didn't have that connection, you know? And as I mentioned, I did meet some other dogs in the shelter. I got to take a couple of other dogs in the play yard, and I'll be posting those on Instagram on the Vegan Pet Sitter, and I'll try to keep posting pretty regularly like different dogs that are available for adoption, and also include like a little bit about their personalities once I've got to meet them. So I'm actually sitting at my computer today, not just because I was editing that video, but because I decided today was going to be the day that I sign up for Victoria Stilwell's Dog Trainer Academy. I actually had like the interview call, I think it was in December. And I decided that I was giving myself a deadline of April 1st to sign up, get enrolled, and get started in classes. Today is February 3rd, and I decided I just didn't want to wait anymore. I wanted to get going now. I actually started putting money away for the course around the holidays when I had a lot of holiday pet sitting, and had some extra money coming in. So I'm like, I'm not going to touch this money. This is going towards school. I actually opened a separate bank account just for this purpose, and I brought my debit card because I thought I was going to pay right now, but I just signed the student agreement, and then I guess they're going to follow up with me about payment. I'm really excited to get started. I hope they get back to me today. I hope I can get started ASAP. But this kind of ties back into the original video with the shelter dogs, and basically what I saw with Maymay I think would be considered like barrier frustration or barrier aggression, and it's really common. A lot of dogs have it where maybe you see a different behavior when they're on leash versus off leash, or like behind a fence or in a crate or something like that, where basically there's something separating them, keeping them away from something that is triggering them, in which case it was like me approaching and there's a fence between us. Before now, that wasn't really something that I had done a lot of research on, and I'm starting to learn more about it. But also I'm the type of learner that I like to start big and like work my way down. And like it makes more sense to me to have like the big building blocks and then be able to use that to problem solve rather than having to like research a solution for every specific problem. And so that is one of the reasons I wanted to start a comprehensive program like Victoria Stilwell Academy. It says the program should take 6 months, but you have 12 months to complete it. You can kind of go at your own pace. And I feel like I'm gonna be that nerd who finishes like right on time. I'm like, that's one of the reasons that pushed me to start now instead of April 1st, because I would just rather finish 2 months earlier. Anyway, I think that is about it for this video. I know it's been a while since I've posted on this channel, but thanks for watching. I will be posting more regularly, so let me know if there's other content that you want to see related to pets. And you can follow me at the Vegan Pet Sitter on Instagram to find out more frequent updates. Like I said, I'll be sharing more of the shelter dogs that I'm working with, as well as training and behavior information. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, and I will see you next time.